Hi guys, welcome back to List Night. Every week they dog on me for having a really excitable YouTube style intro to these. So I'm not going to be excitable this week. I'm just gonna introduce the topic and we're gonna get underway. And it is what it is. As always, I'm Griffin Queen and joined by Andrew Simon and Thomas Albert. The guys that make List Night happen. This week we're going to be doing discontinued foods. I don't know how long I can keep up this exact tone of voice because just looking at the two of them on Zoom makes me want to laugh.
You're smiling a lot.
I am struggling to contain my smiles, but yeah, we're going to be doing discontinued foods this week. We did set a little bit of a criteria this one ahead of time. We said that foods and drinks are totally fine. Guys, welcome back. We haven't recorded in a little while.
It's been a while. And I thoroughly enjoyed that intro. It kind of like lulls the audience into a false sense of security. Like we're just three friends like having a chat before we start yelling and screaming at each other.
A false sense of security.
As the calmest of us three, the least excitable. I've
seen you punch a door.
You're also the first one to giggle.
I wasn't excited about it.
That's true. That doesn't sound like an excited moment.
I want everyone to know we love food, and this was not the easiest list to make, but it was popular demand by us three to make. So
two of the three of us really did want to make that, and that's kind of why I'm trying to keep myself restrained a little bit this week because this is an exciting topic. We love talking about food. You guys have listened to previous episodes. There's almost nothing that we love more than food. We love food, I would say, almost as much as we hate ourselves, and that's tough to hit.
That's true. We love food, we hate ourselves, and we hate companies that take away the food that when they give us a taste of that food and then they take it away. So this episode is going to definitely make us mad. And before we jump into it, let me just say, I know that everyone who listens to this is, where's Dunkaroos? Why don't you have Dunkaroos on your list? If you listen to the comebacks episode, Thomas had Dunkaroos on there because Dunkaroos are back. And just don't give a shit for that. We weren't born yesterday. Of course, if they didn't bring Dunkaroos back, I'm sure they would have been on all of our lists, but they're back. So go buy some Dunkaroos, stuff them in your mouth and shut the fuck up.
Stuff them in your mouth and shut the fuck up. I mean, how embarrassing would it be for our listeners and those of you who comment on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that if they do say Dunkaroos not knowing that Dunkaroos are back? I mean, I wouldn't be embarrassed. I don't think you guys should be embarrassed. I feel like they would be embarrassed. But maybe that's just me. I'm not sure.
I guarantee we're going to get some comments when we post this on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Dunkaroos better be on there.
All the people who comment without actually listening to the episode, and then they'll circle back like a week later and they'll be like, oh, I understand these picks now. I mean, you're not going to hear me saying this because, again, you're not listening to it ahead of time. But I wish I could, maybe I should just text all of you people and be like, listen to the episode before you vote, you dumb fucking idiots.
I'm going to say this.
And that's how you get rid of the small audience you already have.
I'm going to get this out of the way. You're welcome to everyone listening because this is the podcast where I convince 5 companies to bring back delicious treats that they've taken away from us. So you're welcome. This is the stepping stone into the revolution that is bringing back these foods.
Yeah, this is good. This is a moment of history. This is like where it all started.
I really appreciate the very staccato way you said that. Real quick, let me ask, Thomas, are you sending this episode to them? Are other people sending it? We can't convince our current listeners to send the pod to their own friends. You think they're going to send them to, as an example, Frito-Lay?
As just a standard practice, I send our episodes to 10 major corporations every time. And also Redbox, just in case.
Yeah, that explains a lot about all the cease and desist letters that I get, because this is registered to an email that I manage. So lots coming together for me. Redbox, a major corporation. Let's not say also Redbox. It's 10 major corporations and the most major. The most major.
They haven't answered one of my handwritten letters. They can fuck off.
Griffin, let me respond on your behalf and say that we will neither cease nor desist, partially because I don't really know what desist even means, but we won't do it.
Yeah, if the implication is that we need to cease, we are not picking up on it. Let's jump into it. We've bantered about. We're trying to control ourselves because, like I said, this is an emotional topic for us. some people get really excited for the birth of like their kids. Some people get really excited when family members graduate from college or, get their first job or something like that. We get excited at the idea of food that we can potentially have and food that we used to have. So this one is it's gonna do a lot to us. It's gonna pull at the heartstrings. Our order this week, it's gonna be me, and then it's gonna be Andrew, and then it's gonna be Thomas.
Woo, 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 woo. That's all for the Thomas fans out there.
Wow, that sounded awful in my ears. That sounded just horrific.
It's gonna be pleasant for anyone.
So anyone listening to that in their car, I don't imagine it's gonna be good for you either. Let's do it. I didn't really want to go first this week. Not one of the lists that I wanted to go on first on. I got to admit that of the three of us, I'm probably the least educated on food, which might be a sneak diss towards both of them.
Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Have you not eaten before?
Yeah,
I've been known to dabble in food, but I just feel like the two of you, the breadth of your culinary experiences, even knowing that Thomas is like the hot dog guy, I don't know. Like I went a good number of years not really eating.
There's nothing on my list that's something I stopped making for myself. So.
Sure. All right.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's gonna like these lists are gonna be either snacks or like fast food items or like drinks or something because like
very unhealthy stuff.
No literal food that came from the ground has been discontinued.
No one's been like, yo, lasagna, you guys can't make that anymore. Yeah. Lasagna's out. You're not doing it. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into my list. Number 5 on my list. I'm gonna say this, and they might take it off my list. I have never had this.
Oh God.
Number 5 on my list.
Don't just go to your number 4.
It's why it's number 5. For Loco original formula with caffeine and taurine and guarana or something like that as the ingredients, the things that actually made it. Like legitimately dangerous for people to consume. That's why it's on my list, because this drink sounds perfect for somebody with my various issues. It's uppers and downers at the same time. But unfortunately, when the original formula existed, I never had a chance to try it. I never got around to it. I didn't think it was going to go away. And then once it did go away, I wasn't one of those dumb idiots who spent like $300 on a single can on eBay, because that's insane. And so like I've had a Four Loco. I've had a Four Loco post 2010 once they changed the formula, but like they just taste like shitty. They just taste like shit. They're not good. So there's nothing fun to get out of them. So I feel like I really missed the boat on a fun food item.
I'm less angry about you having something that you've never had on your list, but I wouldn't say I'm happy about it. I've also
like a little
never
bit
had
peeved,
an original
displeased.
Four Loco.
Yeah.
I imagine I would die.
Yeah, I haven't had the original either. I think I've only had the new recipe once, maybe ever, once or twice. But yeah, this makes sense that it's on your list, even though you haven't had it. It fits in perfectly with like last episode you talked about everyone needs to get into a fight. This is like perfect for that. Also just your proclivity to just have a death wish all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a you pick. I'll leave it at that.
It makes sense.
If both uppers and downers combined could be a person, I would like to think that they would be me. So I consider myself a little bit the OG Formula 4 Loco of people.
I mean, I don't want to steal that from you, but I might start describing myself as the upper and downer of people.
Oh, you absolutely should. Yeah, no, you and I have that. I always tell people, when you're hanging out with me, you're getting high highs and you're getting low lows. You're not getting a whole lot in between. I am manic.
It sounds like you're calling yourself like the alpha and the omega, but way less cool. Just the upper and the downer.
Very emotionally unstable. Like not even kind of the alpha or the omega.
Even the highs are not good times.
What's up?
Even the highs are not good times.
No, they're not. They're just manic. It's like, man, Griffin's having a really great time, but everyone around him is just displeased.
It's a funeral, but he is having fun.
He's cry laughing. He's cry laughing at a funeral, and it's not the first time he's done it.
Because he's jealous of the person in the casket.
Jesus
Sorry.
Christ.
I'll stop with that.
There's like sometimes we go on these jokes, and the listeners know, the viewers know, but my mom listens to this. And she's got to just wonder,
It's all
like,
jokes.
what's happening in my day-to-day life every time she listens to one of these. And this is what we're starting the pod with this week. I'm already ramping up the intensity. My voice is going up. All right, let's get into
number 4.
So number 4, I was telling you guys a little bit before the pod, I actually had to change what my original number 4 was, because sometime in the past couple months, what I originally have, which was Waffle Crisp cereal, was no longer, it's no longer discontinued. I guess Walmart purchased the rights to it or something like that, and they're doing it in like bulk fashion. I assume that's how Walmart does everything. I don't go to Walmart, I'm not poor. Shots fired at any of you guys who go to Walmart. I'm just kidding, Well, I'm not kidding, but
all right, go on.
like instead, I'm going to replace it with one that I think is a bit more into the pick. Removed in the 2010s, and this company is actually in pretty dire straits at this point. Entenmann's butter coffee cake, which was like one of my favorite breakfast dessert. I don't. It's a breakfast and a dessert, but it was one of my favorite items that they had, and it quite literally paired perfectly with coffee. And I think of their different, breakfast cakes, it just wasn't one of the more popular ones, so they got rid of it. And I, as a guy that loves pastries for breakfast and lunch and dinner and after dinner, it was a big loss for me.
Hold up. Entenmann's is in trouble?
Yeah, so I was reading some stuff when I was looking at this one. I guess they've shut down a bunch. I don't think that the company as a whole has like shut down, obviously, but I don't know if they're owned by someone else now or they've shut down some of their main factories. There's a lot of different like pastry companies and all that have had a rough few years.
I don't mean to offend anyone, but I do mean this. This is the worst thing that COVID has done. I mean,
no argument here, man.
This is terrible news. This is terrible.
The effect on the food industry, Andrew probably knows better than anybody, but yeah, there's things that we're never going to have again, and
Entenmann's
blame
is great.
Joe Biden.
Butter coffee cake, good choice.
Thanks, man.
I do miss it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not the expert on all the different kinds of Entenmann's cakes there are. So I wouldn't notice if one was gone, like this one is gone. But I will say every time there's...
Do all people look the same to you too?
No, but...
Okay, jumped quickly to that.
No, but what I'm saying is all Entenmann's cakes are great. So, and I'm not saying that about people. Let's be very clear. So a loss of any one of them is a bad thing. So I will give you that.
The world's a little bit darker of a place, which now that I say it, I feel like Thomas is going to call me racist now for saying that. And to remind anyone who's listening to this that's never seen us, which I can't imagine is anybody, we're all white. So Thomas throwing out the racism card early, not great.
I would say I'm arguably the whitest.
You're clear. Yeah, you're like Larry Bird.
I don't understand how we got here from cake.
How do we get anywhere from anywhere? How did
Andrew's
we decide?
Andrew said all cakes are the same, man. They're not.
He did.
No, I didn't say.
He said all cakes matter.
Jesus Christ! All cakes are not the same. Let's be clear.
So you're saying they're not all equal?
Move on to your number 3. I might quit right now.
All I'm saying is Entenmann's. If you want to sponsor Jess Griffin and I, that's fine. We're first.
It's undoubtable that they would like to sponsor at least one of us, because Entenmann's probably is getting more play in this like past 5 minutes than they've gotten in years. They're just not. They're not the household brand.
Entenmann's is going down the toilet, but this is going to be the thing that saves them. Is their
it's going to be us at NASCAR events selling Entenmann's.
I have to imagine since my grandparents passed away, their sales have plummeted like 50%. So
they're like a number one grandparent purchase
since everyone's grandparents have passed away. Yeah,
that's true. All of our grandparents, for the most part, are dead. That sucks.
So is Entenmann's.
That's a big loss, almost as big of a loss as the loss of some Entenmann's pastries.
Okay.
On to number 3, because again, my family listens to this.
What is happening to us? Honestly, this is more like normal. I feel like the first 26 episodes we were on our best behavior, and now it's just we don't care anymore.
I don't know if I would say we were on our best behavior.
We lost the sponsors, so now we're free.
Yeah, right. Redbox pulled out. Guys, we got to tell you, Redbox pulled out. We were trying to be adults about it earlier.
It's
They
tough.
pulled out. They sent a strongly worded letter on their way out.
It's been tough.
You
know, Blockbuster or die.
Blockbuster making a comeback. All right, on to number 3. This is one that I do think probably the two of you likely are into, just knowing your snacking habits. Also was discontinued in the mid 2010s. Rolled Gold honey mustard pretzels, which maybe the most addictive pretzel which is a very specific
in the universe
category, but like of all the different brands of pretzels and all the different types of them, maybe the most addictive ones that ever existed. We used to have these in our house all the time. I don't know who liked that, or I assume everyone liked them, but I don't know who was specifically buying them. But we would go through them one day, like after school, the day we got them. Like we crushed them.
I did not actually know these were discontinued until earlier today, and they're probably my number 6. Phenomenal.
Yeah, these very much almost made my list. They're fantastic. They're fantastic. I was never upset to eat an entire bag of these.
I mean,
never disappointed.
let's keep it a buck. There are very few chip or pretzel based things on earth that I would be upset to eat a bag of. Can't think of any off top. Like even ones that I don't like a jumbo size, like Costco salt and vinegar, the kind of thing that's like going to put me in the hospital. I'd still eat it. Like I'm not going to throw it out of bed. But these are definitely top of the list for like crackers and snack foods.
Yeah, and there is that like
eat chips in bed, a lot of crumbs.
Yeah, you're right. I just have sex with them.
There is that distinct moving on, distaste of like of pretzels, like honey mustard flavored pretzels now have like that like honey mustard powder, because you can still get the the Snyder's like Hanover bits or like those ones are fantastic, but the Rolled Gold, like similar kind of taste, but like also like they were thinner.
They might have. Do they have honey mustard goldfish? I feel like they had that at one point too. I'm not
honey
sure.
Mustard gold.
I don't think so.
Or maybe something else that's cheese. Like a standard like cheese snack that they did honey mustard. There was something else outside of the pretzels that used to be honey mustard. Can't think of it right now. It might have been what you're thinking of, and I might just be blanking on it. But yeah, a honey mustard like cracker or something like that, like just a snack. Delicious. They don't get enough dap.
Not wrong.
Yeah. All right. Surprisingly, and I guess because this is one of our food lists, you guys have not hated me thus far. So let's move to number 2. And
we haven't hated your picks.
You haven't hated my picks. Yes. You hate me, and you've hated a lot of things that I've said, understandably so. But you haven't hated my picks, and that's really, really what it all comes down to, and the only thing that matters to me. Number 2 and number 1 for me went back and forth a lot, and I'm going to get ahead of it right now. I'm going to say both of these are fast food items, probably to the surprise of very few people. Number 2, what I ended up settling on as number 2 was KFC Potato Wedges, which apparently were discontinued sometime in the past 6 months, maybe. Like they were discontinued end of 2021, and so now they've moved to fries. And I've always been a guy in my heart and in my core and publicly and privately, I've always argued that KFC is better than Popeyes. And this has always been the reason that I've argued that KFC is better than Popeyes, because of the potato wedges. And now that KFC has gotten rid of the potato wedges, I got to be honest with everybody, and I got to be honest with myself. There's literally no other category that KFC beats Popeyes in. So it's Popeyes all the way. And that's taken me a lot of years to come to that. Like, I don't feel good saying it. I feel like I'm abandoning KFC by saying it. I've always been a KFC guy, but their potato wedges were the best thing on their menu.
I gotta be honest. I don't really care one way or the other about KFC Popeyes. Not my thing. Both are good. I don't care.
You're a closed on Sunday Chick-Fil-A guy?
I was worried
because of their religious views.
Yes, I was worried you were going to say publicly that you're a wedges guy over fries, and I was gonna.
No, I think fries might be the ideal potato.
I would not have been able to get through this episode if that had been what you said.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. So just so that we're clear, it's not what I'm saying. But KFC's wedges were a party in your mouth.
I assume they were great, and I'll take your word for it. But I can't. Like I know I had them, but Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I'm sure I've had them years ago, but I haven't been to KFC in a long time but I do want to say it's big of you to finally admit that you were wrong and that Popeyes is better, because it is a big deal to me. Although everyone has their biases, and like I said, I haven't had KFC in years, so maybe I try it tomorrow, and I do like it more than Popeyes. So you know what? Maybe I should open my heart and soul a little bit. And
I've been aggressively fighting this battle for a long time, and I'll give you a small, very, very brief story. At the previous company that I worked with, we would have a Christmas party every year at our office, which is like a warehouse. And one year for the catering for it, specifically so that the guys that were doing the catering could have an answer to this question, they ordered half KFC and half Popeyes. And they had like a sign-in sheet next to both of them to vote for which one you liked better than the other. And I went around for hours at that party rather than having the time that I could have had. And I tried to convince people to vote for KFC.
You were campaigning.
And the thing is, I knew KFC was going to lose because I knew it was an unpopular pick. I just didn't want them to lose by that much. Which is just the height of desperation.
I respect you more now because of that. But I gotta say, all of our late night talks, I did not know this was such a thing for you.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I haven't been to KFC and I don't think I've been to Popeyes maybe in 10 years, and KFC probably very slightly less than that. They're just not like because anytime I'm getting fast food, really, you're eating in the car or something like that. It's not the best fast food to eat in a car. But yeah, I've always been a KFC guy, and I guess that era has come to an end. Because KFC's not a Griffin guy, and I've learned that. I've learned that now.
Some real self-reflection happening right now.
I'll add KFC to the list of companies that will not be sponsoring us.
I do believe they were already on that list, but here's the thing: should they reach out and be like, "Hey, we heard you were talking about KFC, but we didn't exactly know the content of it," I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm the biggest KFC guy on earth. Please send me chicken. I won't take money, but I'll take chicken.
Send me chicken."
Number one on my list, which you guys could probably guess, because considering it wasn't the other one, and it's a very popular fast food item that was discontinued. I'm gonna leave it up to the two of you. I want to know if you know what my number one is.
I see. I don't want to say because I don't want to
say
my list.
Same thing. I have a few.
Just give it a guess, or even say where it's from.
From McDonald's.
It is.
Very cheap.
I mean, it's from McDonald's.
I know what you're talking about, Thomas, and I think I have a guess.
I think I know what Thomas is talking about as well, and it's maybe it shares some similarities with this food. But what it is? I'm just going to tell you what it is. Oh, Andrew, what is it?
Is it of the poultry persuasion?
It is of the poultry persuasion. Number one on my discontinued food items, McDonald's Chicken Selects.
Yeah. No.
I think I know what Thomas thought it was. And maybe when we get to his and Andrew's list, we'll figure that out. But yeah, Chicken Selects, McDonald's nuggets, they're fine. They're good. We've eaten more of them than maybe anyone else on this earth. And you're going to shake your head at that? You're going to shake your head at that knowing what
No chance.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We had one summer.
You had one summer. I eat that. I still eat McDonald's chicken nuggets. But if it was up to me, I would eat McDonald's Chicken Selects. I don't know why they got rid of them. I guess they're the last iconic item, and maybe they cost more to make, and maybe they weren't selling that well. Can't imagine they weren't selling that well. They were very popular. But yeah, they got rid of them in 2013, and the world's been a darker place ever since. Honestly, it hurts every day.
I'll tell you what. I was never a Chicken Select guy. I honestly, I probably did, but I can't say for certain I ever ordered them myself. But why would they keep Chicken Selects when they have chicken nuggets and kids like nuggets better?
Because adults like Chicken Selects better. And also, I'm
adults
pretty
also
sure
like
Chicken
nuggets,
Selects Chicken Selects may have averaged out to being less food than chicken nuggets while also costing more. I was happy to pay for something that tasted more like actual chicken, despite the fact that obviously I was choosing to go to McDonald's, which is an insane choice when you're looking for chicken.
Chicken Selects never did it for me. So
yeah. Okay. I was like, I thought you were about to say something. I like chicken selects a lot, and I almost had it on my list because I also like them more than nuggets, despite being the guy who tried to eat 60 nuggets that one summer. I in all honesty, I think nuggets are overrated. Like I really do. Like they have such a distinct taste that I understand when you're craving chicken nuggets, it's like that's what you're craving. You're not craving like other kinds of chicken. But I also think chicken selects were very much better. They did bring them back. They called them buttermilk crispy tenders or whatever. It was the same shit. It was the exact same thing.
But why are they? Why not call them chicken fingers? That's what they are.
Because they were selected by McDonald's for their quality.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some marketing that went into it with people getting paid a lot more money.
Ronald McDonald himself selected them for their quality. Also, let me say, and I actually had forgotten to mention this, and I think I'd forgotten this until just now. A lot of the sauces that McDonald's has were introduced with the chicken selects. Like their
that is true.
like
the
their
newer
hot buffalo and a bunch of that
buffalo.
stuff. Yeah, that all came with chicken selects, and they kept it on the menu. Without chicken selects, maybe we never get those sauces.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was gonna say about nuggets. Like for me, if in the rare case I get any nuggets, it's just a vessel for the sauce. Like that's what I use it for. So I would much rather have chicken that I actually very much enjoy, like chicken selects. So
Just a vessel for the sauce.
I just
didn't make it on my list. But
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
That's just a really perfect way to describe it. Yeah.
But here's my thing with chicken selects. I don't go for McDonald's for the best burger. So like if I'm getting chicken selects, like I want better chicken fingers, and I can get that elsewhere.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I get the perspective, but for the price and also being able to get them in conjunction with like a Big Mac and anything else that I was buying, which at that point in my life was a lot. Yeah, because I was fat. Chicken selects, like I said, Ronald McDonald himself selected them. They were the best value you could find. Let's give you my recap, and then we're going to move on to Andrew. Number 5 on my list was the Four Loco original formula. Number 4 was Entenmann's butter coffee cake. Number 3 was Roll Gold honey mustard pretzels. Number 2 were KFC potato wedges. And number 1 for discontinued foods, McDonald's chicken selects.
I gotta say, I'm torn between your 3 and 4, but I feel like honey mustard pretzels was better because, like Andrew said, Entenmann's also had other good cakes. Still does. Sure.
Well, I think Roll Gold probably also still has some decent pretzels.
They got regular ass pretzels.
They're out. You guys are out on pretzels now.
After they did honey mustard, I was reading today because I thought about it on my list. They put out like a cheddar.
Like I'm not, cheddar's fine. It's just cheddar's easy. Cheddar's for the company that doesn't want to dream big.
Everyone's done cheddar.
You know who would not be okay with just cheddar on their menu? Ronald McDonald. He dreams bigger.
Cheddar.
I mean, respectable list, Griffin. I mean, Four Loco. I would. It's just it's you. But yeah,
it's a good third place.
Oh yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's really just honey mustard rolled gold that's carrying you. All right.
I would still have the least number of third places on this pod, just so that we're clear on that.
Literally, no one keeps track.
Well, Andrew is a spreadsheet guy. Let me tell you, he keeps track.
Andrew doesn't count as a person.
I keep pretty rigid track.
Yeah, Andrew keeps almost obsessive track.
Yeah. Okay.
Which we're not going to cut out my whole thing about like my emotions, but for Andrew's sake, we should probably cut out, how much track he keeps of our 40-person viewer podcast.
I like spreadsheets.
Oh, we know, buddy. We know. That's why we do this with you.
Okay. All right. My number 5 is going to be the pick that Thomas thought Griffin's was going to be, and so he's going to be upset that it's on my list.
Can I say what I think it is?
Yeah, go for it.
Is it snack wraps?
Absolutely, it's snack wraps.
That is not what I thought.
Really?
Well, then what did you think we were talking about? Andrew and I are very clearly on the same page.
Oh my god! Now I just want to hear your list. I am shocked.
Let's skip Andrew. Andrew.
Anyways, McDonald's snack wraps. They're cheap, and and I think they were made with the same chicken from the chicken selects. They were just chopped up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And it was, I mean, again, honey mustard is coming back into it. Honey mustard was my favorite one, but there's also like ranch, and I think there's barbecue at one point. They were all fantastic.
This should just be called the honey mustard episode.
When there was three
When
there was three on the menu, I'd get like all three, and it was like $3. And then at one point they had a Big Mac version, like a Mac snack wrap. That was also fantastic.
Never had that.
Missed those a lot.
Yeah.
Snack wraps, delicious. Ranch, overrated. I stand by that. No, snack wraps were phenomenal. I mean, they were a great addition to the dollar menu, because like, I want a McChicken and a McDouble, but maybe I want something with that. I don't want 4 nuggets. Give me a snack wrap.
We lost a lot as a culture when they got rid of chicken selects and snack wraps. That's what I'm going to say. I think, people always talk about like Harambe dying or Donald Trump being elected, or like all these different like points where society flipped.
Griffin,
I think losing the snack wrap and the chicken select is the worst thing that happened.
Don't give away our next episode, because aren't we going to eventually do events that need a movie? And I feel like you just gave like 5 of mine. So
Harambe dying is an event that needs a movie.
Do people still?
Is it a snuff film?
Harambe?
Do people what?
Still talk about Harambe?
I feel like idiots probably
Also,
do.
like, what's the argument? He had a fucking kid.
The argument.
I don't know.
Is,
we're not getting into it.
Well, the argument, I think, and let's get into it for a second. We can get off topic for a second. The kid fell in, right? Because his parents weren't paying attention.
Right. Yeah. So it's the parents' fault.
So the parents at that point have lost their property, and it's now Harambe's property to do whatever they want with it.
No.
So fuck that kid.
But honestly, that's how people on the internet and people in real life act. Like, I literally don't know what else.
Yes, I'm on the internet and in real life right now.
Well, Thomas and I are living in reality, and like, as much as we love animals, like, I don't know what the zoo is supposed to do at that point.
What are they supposed to do?
Make a new kid.
Just make a reverse card?
What a take.
How badly have you wanted to do the reverse card joke? Like, come on, that was such a stretch. And also, it still looks like a DNA helix.
Cut it.
You're the one editing this one, so you can cut it.
We never cut what we say we're going to cut.
We never cut.
And then we cut things that we... No. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
We cut all the times that you guys spend sexually harassing me, but that's just,
Okay, so snack wraps are my number 5. Honey mustard is the top one, though.
Great choice.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right. Just to put a finish line on that one, or a period on that one, the great choice.
Number 4 is one that I forgot about until recently. Ritz Bits s'mores. So obviously the Ritz Bits, the cheese ones and the peanut butter sandwiches, those still exist. But there was the dessert one, the s'mores one, and it wasn't like a necessarily go-to all the time for me, but occasionally they'd have like the fun size ones or whatever, like having in my lunch or after school or something. I thought they were fantastic. It was a good dessert type Ritz snack, and that's lacking today.
I don't know if I actually remember these, or if you just have, or if I just assume I know them because you had them at some point.
They had like it was literally like black and white split down the middle, chocolate on one side, marshmallow on the other. Like,
see, I think I can picture it, like not the individual pieces, but the packaging with it on there. Either way, I don't remember having them or tasting them, but I'm in.
I don't think I've had them either. They came up when I was like trying to figure out the years for a bunch of different discontinued food. These are one of the ones that came up. I don't think I've had them. When you first said it, I was thinking mini Oreos. Which if they discontinued, I'd probably throw myself off a tall building. But neither here nor there. That's a low low.
Regular Oreos.
Well, it starts off as a high, and then it makes its way to a low low. But I'm sure these were delicious. Ritz Bits are fantastic. I'm on board with this pick, even though I haven't had one.
Ritz Bits are good. S'mores are good. What could go wrong?
Your dog is good.
Yeah.
He's the best, but
he's great. He's a great dog.
Yeah, I mean, the worst part about bringing up a snack that you guys haven't tried is that you can't try it now because it's discontinued.
That is a great
until Ritz
point.
brings
I
it
might
back.
make my own.
We have seen some things have been disqualified from lists, just like on my list. Things do come back. It's a little cyclical for some of these, depending on how the companies are doing. I think if there's enough nostalgia for a food, and you can get that trending on Twitter, they'll bring it back.
I was about to say 90s and early 2000s nostalgia is like so high for our generation and has been for like a decade now, that not only these reboots of like every show that's ever existed, but also every snack that's ever been discontinued. So I'm sure they'll all come back at some point.
I don't know
This
if millennials have takes or they just have nostalgia. I think so much of what drives us is just nostalgia.
This kid that works for me was born in 2003. And the other day he goes, yeah, it feels like the 90s. And I was like, he said sometimes he was like, yeah, because we were talking about how like the day, the weeks, the years are going by slow. He goes, yeah, sometimes it's like it's still the 90s. And I was like, you weren't alive.
You quite literally don't know what that's like. You know,
you weren't alive.
Kid's an idiot, right? Like, let's get that out of the way. Kid's dumb. But I will say, and I think this was mirrored by a lot of people like in our specific age bracket. Do you guys remember when Stranger Things season 1 came out? There were a lot of people that never lived in the 80s who felt a very legitimate sense of nostalgia for a time period that they didn't experience. Like there was something like they just captured nostalgia so well. And I'm sure there's other things that do that as well. But that particular thing always jumps out to me as like, I never experienced this, but I'm nostalgic for it.
One thing that captures that very well is list night.
For the better days of Facebook.
Good pick, Andrew.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, I like it, you know.
And let's keep riding that nostalgia train. I mean, I guess all these are kind of nostalgic, but
everything on this list.
Yes.
I don't think I'm telling any big secrets here that the three of us are big Slurpee guys. No, I mean, I think we're maybe the biggest Slurpee guys. Okay.
Don't do this to me.
Don't let our group chat hear you say that, because some people might get mad.
Now there was one summer. I think this flavor was only around for maybe one summer, maybe 9 months tops. But there was a flavor called Frog, and I was a big fan of it. Big fan of it. I think what it was like a green apple flavored soda kind of thing that was in the Big Gulp machine, but I never tried the soda by itself. I just had the Slurpees, and oh man, for that 8 or 9 months, whenever it was around, I got it every time. And don't worry, Thomas, I mixed it sometimes, or maybe every time, because I know you flip out when people don't mix Slurpees. But man, it was like this nice like sour apple taste, not too harsh. It was just fantastic. I miss it so much.
There at spoiler alert, this is on my list. 2 Slurpee flavors you don't have to mix: Frog and banana. I don't know why they stopped making Frog. FRAWG was so fucking good.
Yes.
I am so mad that it's gone. Mad that it's on your list. But I miss it so much because it's on my list.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It had to have been more than 9 months. I'm not sure. Maybe it was only 9 months. I don't know.
I think it's one of those things that like made such an impact that we're remembering that it was like half of our childhood. But I'm pretty sure it was only around for like maybe a year tops.
Was it part of like a movie? Because I remember it, and I remember drinking it like religiously during a summer at the pool. But was it part of a movie promotion or something?
I remember having
like, was Frogger making a big comeback?
No, it wasn't Frogger.
No idea what it was.
Yeah, I think there was a frog like mascot, but it wasn't Frogger. It was
Did he have sunglasses? I feel like he had sunglasses, but also, like, why wouldn't he have had sunglasses? He was a frog spelled FRAWG, and he was on a Slurpee flavor. So
badass.
It wasn't.
It'd only be cooler if he was smoking a cigarette.
It wasn't just 9 months, but I feel like it was only a summer that it was everywhere. And then you only found it like once every 3 years, because when I first had it was with Kevin at the beach with his family at the 7-Eleven next to Billy's, and we get at least 1 to 3 Slurpees every day, and banana and Frog were both there. And that was the first time.
I'll commit right here on this podcast in the recorded format. If one of you guys is somewhere in the continental United States and you find Frog somewhere, I'll fly there. I will. And that might ruin your vacation. You know, that's not on me. That's on Frog.
I'll go one further. It doesn't have to be in the US. I'll go anywhere for Frog.
All right, Tommy Moneybags over here.
So I did look it up like just briefly. I don't think it was like part of a promotion for like movie or anything like that. I think it was just some like collaboration between Pepsi and 7-Eleven. So where they had this exclusive like soda flavor. But how did they not continue it? Oh my God.
My one thing about it, because of how much this seems to have affected us, and this is an emotional pick. Like, I'm emotional about it. I'm a little afraid that if we were to go have it today, we would be like, this tastes like battery acid.
Yeah,
like this is so sweet. This is so awful.
Worth it. I see, Andrew, maybe you can correct me, but when I was looking, I couldn't ever find it actually say discontinued. And if you look at a list of like 303 Slurpee flavors, it's still on there. So I don't think 7-Eleven like officially like ever says this flavor is discontinued, but they don't make it anymore either. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah,
like
I
it
guess.
still counts as on our list.
Yeah, I
Good
mean, I
question.
guess I didn't technically see that either, but I doubt there's
Yeah.
a factory anywhere where they're making that flavor. So
No.
Here's a idea. We quit our jobs and start a 7-Eleven franchise.
And
And we
let's
just
do it.
live in
Let's do
Frog.
it in the city that we all live in.
Los Angeles,
Mm.
where it's literally sunny and warm enough all the time for Frog to be 12 months out of the year.
Oh yeah, because 7-Elevens aren't successful in colder cities.
I'm just saying, man, Slurpees are a little bit tough in 20-degree winters.
Yeah, but I feel like coffee is the big seller at 7-Eleven, like other things besides Slurpees.
Okay. We can drink coffee in LA too.
I'd have a Frog coffee.
Oh, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Andrew, move on to your next one before I start crying remembering.
All right, my number 2 is a Taco Bell pick that I don't think either of you will care about, but I care about deeply, and I have it written down here because I need to remember exactly what it was. So it's basically it was either the original big box or maybe the second big box, but at one point around November 2008 there was a big box which included the Volcano Taco, a Burrito Supreme, a Crunchwrap Supreme, cinnamon twist, and a large drink, and it was $4.99. I mean,
how is that fiscally responsible for Taco Bell?
That doesn't make any sense.
How can they afford that level of
not
food?
Only is it a shit ton of food, but like a couple of my favorite all-time items. I could have just had the Volcano Taco on there because that's been discontinued, but then also the Crunchwrap Supreme in there. It's just
a large drink.
I can't fathom that being the second generation, because that would mean like the first generation. Like, you don't make a second generation that cheap. You make the first generation that cheap, and then you're like, oh no, what do we do? And then you make the second generation.
Yeah, I think
holy crap.
Yeah, they probably made the box, and then someone was like, wait, cut that, get one of the items out of there. And then from then on, the boxes just kept getting worse and worse and more expensive. So yeah,
Man,
that's my number 2.
Shouts to the golden age of fast food costing like nothing.
And being like a lot of food.
And like it was the same prices because we didn't have like record inflation yet for half our lives. Like everything was very consistent.
But here's the thing. What it was that people didn't care about living. So like it was like, who cares if you weigh 500 pounds? Eat this food.
So if I go into a McDonald's and I'm like, hey guys, guess who doesn't care about living? They'll be like 40% off.
They'd be like, your new name is Supersize Me.
Yeah. Ronald
They
McDonald.
legally can't say that anymore.
It is interesting, like how I watched this thing about how fast food companies have pivoted, because for a while there, like 10 years ago, like all McDonald's and all these companies were trying to like get on the healthy kick and be like, we got salads now, like it's not as bad as you think it is to eat here, and like that just didn't work. And now it's just like they're leaning into like McDonald's cut their menu in half basically, and all they have are like the classics now, like Big Macs, McNuggets, and what they're doing instead is like getting these deals with these like major artists to promote their shit and just like be like, look, it's cool to eat this once in a while rather than pretend like they're healthy.
Yeah It's weird. It's super weird. I liked a lot better. I liked it a lot more when they were dropping like a new menu item, like a limited time thing, and all of them were doing it. Wendy's, KFC, Taco Bell, McDonald's, all of them, like every 3 months. And that you had like Halloween themed shit, and you had like Christmas themed shit, and you had the McRib every few years. Like it was just like and maybe it was very 90s. Like it was just constant like consumerism, but it was, as a kid, it was the most fun thing in the world because you always had new shit to try out.
Yeah.
I feel like the snack wrap was part of the healthy trend, and I just want that back.
Yeah.
That's true.
If that's what it takes to be healthy, I'd eat a snack wrap.
There were a couple wins that came out of that era, but yeah, anyway, so this Taco Bell pick, like, I'm not gonna lie, part of it's just like the bundle and the price that gets me. And if we had like price as a part of this list, then my number 1 would just be McDoubles and or double cheeseburgers and McChickens costing $1 a piece. Like, absolutely. But obviously those are not discontinued items. So instead, for my number 1, I went with a snack Kudos Bars, Kudos granola bars.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. All right. All right.
These
I'm picking
were
up what you're putting down.
this was a snack that my mom would frequently buy. I mean, just like I liked them more than Chewy bars, and I think we all know how iconic Chewy bars are. But Kudos bars, like my favorite one was the M&M one. M&M's on the top. I think they also had a Snickers one and maybe like a Dove chocolate one. But just fantastic. All sugar, but there's some granola in there, so healthy. Fantastic. Number one, Kudos bars.
I think you could get variety packs of them too. I did not know that these were discontinued, so that's I can't say it's a blow because obviously like I haven't been purchasing them, but they're fucking great. They were fucking great, I guess. I gotta say.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I have never agreed with you more on anything ever. I mean, I go
Such a fan of drama.
I go through Chewy bars like no one's business. I would never have a Chewy bar again if Kudos were still a thing. Wouldn't do it. I mean, they're just so good.
Yeah,
Healthy?
I feel like
no, but
I feel like
chocolate
we ate them.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we ate them at your house a lot too. I remember your mom just like throwing them from the stairs when we were down in the basement. And it was
that
fantastic.
Does
Stay
sound
down
like
there.
her. That does sound like something she would do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good number one, dude.
Yeah. I gotta say, I mean, I enjoy your list more just because that there is more similarities than with Griffin's third place list. Yours is a good second place.
People often say that the two of you are like brothers in the worst way. You have too much in common. Like, really, who needs both of you is often the argument made. Like, if you've got one, you've got them both.
You. I think you.
Well,
need both
me.
of us.
I need both of you.
You might be the only one.
Yeah, well, because if I lose one of you, then I don't want to have already made an enemy out of the other one.
Greg Fantino's needed both of us when he put us on his classic soccer team.
Oh, I thought this was going to be another joke about like how you guys weren't good at basketball or something.
No, we were bad at soccer.
Got it. Seems like you were bad at a lot of things.
Griffin, if one of us quits the pod, I imagine that you'll just have a dummy or a doll of us, and then you'll just
a body pillow.
Yeah.
If one of you quits you think I would continue doing this if one of you quit?
That's what I'm saying. You would do it, but you'd pretend that the person didn't quit.
I don't think that I would. It's not out of loyalty. I want to be very clear about that. It's not out of loyalty. It's out of laziness.
Griffin,
that's 33% of the ideas and work that I would then have to do. No, thank you.
If we both quit, you'd still do this.
If you both quit, I think I'd be more likely to do it than if only one of you quit. But it would be a really, really sad insight into what's going on in my brain, which I guess this pod kind of already is.
It is, but yeah.
All
right.
It's all a bit. I'm just playing a character.
No, he's not. All right. All right. Here's my recap. Number 5, McDonald's snack wraps. Number 4, Ritz Bits s'mores. Number 3, frog flavored Slurpee. Number 2, I think the original Taco Bell big box. And number 1, Kudos granola bars.
Yeah, great list. Only one that I got to push back on a little bit is the s'mores. I've never had them. I'm sure they were delicious. I think they only discontinued delicious things. Yeah, good list.
So
I take it.
Why I don't like going last is for exactly what just happened. Is that 3 of mine are on Andrew's list.
Fuck.
And the 4th one is from the same company as one of his. So let's get started. I lied earlier. My number 5 is snack wraps from McDonald's. That is what I was like.
What else would it be?
They were so fucking good. Everything that was already said, but they were such a good, just literally a snack, like just an extra aside, like just an extra little bit. They were so good. Agreed. Honey mustard was the best.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Honey mustard guys. That's what we are.
Would you only buy them as a snack though, or would you buy like 4 of them and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna hoard
It depended. I would buy, like you said, like I maybe would get one of all 3, or if it was after swim practice, like I'd get like a meal and that, or like 4 McDoubles, 4 McChickens, and 4 snack wraps because Michael Phelps.
Well, that was my move. Like after swim practices, you get a McDouble, or I guess it was a double cheeseburger. I don't think I was getting a McDouble.
Yeah,
I'd get a double cheeseburger. I'd get a McChicken. I'd get a honey mustard snack wrap. And if I was feeling frisky, I'd get either a 4-piece or I'd get like an apple pie.
See, I don't want to say Andrew and I were better swimmers than you, but we would get the McDonald's on the way to practice after high school. So
yeah, I didn't swim for your high school.
I think eating McDonald's after practice doesn't make sense when you can have it before and then you get in the water and you feel
well, one practice is in the morning, and eating these things at 7 in the morning doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
And then you have an excuse to, I cramped up. I can't swim because I just ate 8 sandwiches apparently and a snack wrap.
Peak athletes on this podcast.
Yeah. It's crazy to me that the two of you didn't go to the Olympics. Crazy.
Me too.
But
tickets were sold out.
Say what you're gonna say, Andrew.
We joke about like how fat we are. It is remarkable how not fat we are.
For
what we've eaten. For what we've eaten.
Yeah. No, and I mean, a lot of our dietary preferences have definitely been established from the point in our lives when we were like athletes and we were outside 24/7 and all that. So understandably, it is kind of hard to get away from that. But yeah, the fact that we haven't ballooned up to 400 pounds is questionable.
So my number surprising. 4, I don't know how I'm not fatter. Number 4 is it's a soda that I honestly if it did come back, I would definitely get it just to try it. I don't think I'd drink it often or more than once just because I don't drink a lot of soda unless I'm getting drunk, and this doesn't seem right. It is a soda energy drink, Volt.
Mm-hmm.
I knew you were going to say Volt.
It was in the vending machine at Flower Hill Pool, and it was just like it was the best. I mean, it probably tasted awful, like you said, if we had Frog now, but Volt was at the time, it was so fucking good.
When you guys lost Volt, like when it still no longer was in the vending machine, did anybody tell you stories about why it was no longer there?
I don't think so.
At Mill Creek, the parents definitely told all of us that it was because it had so much caffeine in it that it was killing kids. I think they told us the same thing about Surge, maybe.
I hate parents.
Surge.
Yeah. I think they told us the same thing about Surge.
Volt Zero got discontinued because it had some ingredient in it. So did one of the Fantas that was like making people sick.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're naming something off of like the literal idea of electricity, you're going to have some problems with it, and you're accepting those problems when you choose to purchase it. Like that's on you.
Wasn't it spelled VAULT like the gymnastic event?
Was it?
Yeah,
okay.
It was.
There you go.
Yeah, no, Thomas, I actually like looked it up today because it's probably about 7 on my list. I did like Vault a lot, but yeah, basically it was Coke's answer to Mountain Dew. And apparently it was actually discontinued partially because Coke bought Monster energy drink, so they focused like more of their and the taste was like, I don't think it's that similar, but I guess like maybe they just wanted to focus on that. So you could argue that they took it away because it didn't have enough caffeine or like enough energy.
Yes, it was too much soda.
It was too soda and not enough energy drink for them.
There was also, and maybe I'm probably conflating it with Surge a little bit too. They also had the same issue in the 90s with Mellow Yellow going off the shelves briefly. Like all the like lemon lime and just everything that looked radioactive was except for Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew stayed the course, and they were like, no, we're committing to this. This is who we are. We're going to give your kids cancer.
Sometimes it's red. Sometimes it's blue.
Yeah. I think one of them was called Live Wire. I'm pretty sure Mountain Dew Live Wire.
Yeah,
definitely
like,
was.
They very much leaned into the idea that it was going to give your kid like 3 heads. And that's cool. Good for them. Good for Mountain Dew.
Okay, number 3 is also a Taco Bell item, and I am not the biggest Taco Bell person, but this is from the breakfast menu, the original Taco Bell breakfast menu. It is the Waffle Taco. Mm-hmm. And I do not understand why Taco Bell would stop selling a waffle taco. That makes no sense. Why would you stop selling it?
So anything that has taco in the name should remain on the menu?
Yes.
Is the waffle taco the one that Kevin Meekins brushes his teeth to?
Yes.
Like, is he obsessed with that one?
He does.
He loves it. Yeah, well, let me first say I am surprised that anything from Taco Bell made your list because I know you're not like the biggest Taco Bell guy, but I think at least in Flower Hill, I remember being we built up the release of the Taco Bell breakfast menu because their marketing was fantastic, and the two items that they kept promoting was the waffle taco and the AM Crunch Wrap. And I guess the Crunch Wrap I'm sure is still around, but yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if the sales just were not there for the waffle taco or if it's an ingredient thing or what. But I prefer the Crunch Wrap, but I wouldn't kick a waffle taco out of bed.
It sounds like maybe it flew too close to the sun, much like the Doritos Locos taco and a couple other options that Taco Bell had over the years. Maybe too many people liked it.
You can't fly too close to the sun when you're brighter than the sun.
Wow.
What a poet.
Okay.
It's insane to me that this podcast isn't more popular with things like that.
I don't have the opportunity to get Taco Bell breakfast, which is probably good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if I did, yeah, AM Crunch Wraps, still delicious, I'm sure. They were great. But the waffle taco was just phenomenal stuff. The I don't know if you maybe you're not picturing it. The waffle was the shell.
It was a taco. Yeah, it was the taco was a waffle and a waffle was
so
a taco.
Instead of a taco shell, it was a waffle shell.
So maybe the reason they discontinued it is because they had to source another ingredient, that being waffles, because Taco Bell is notorious for always releasing new items, which are literally just new shapes of the ingredients that they've had for years. Like they literally will make like a burrito into like a triangle and be like, look at this new release. And it's the exact same shit as their last burrito that they just
a different grill.
Is it a little lazy?
And idiots like me eat it up.
Yeah. Does it get the job kids done? And guys who are pushing 30 or 30.
Done.
Yeah, it works on me every time, and I'm like, this is the same. It tastes exactly the same because it is exactly the same.
If they're like, here's a taco, but now it's an octagon, I'm like, well, I'm gonna order 30 of them. Like that
Maybe
makes
that could be
so much sense to me. Yeah, it's like I'm in the UFC, but I'm eating a taco.
I missed the waffle taco. My number 2 is Frog Slurpee.
What more can be said about the Frog Slurpee?
Not much. It was great. We miss it. I want it to come back.
Yeah, sure.
I just figured we would have a moment of silence, but it's fine.
Pour one out for the Frog Slurpee.
So to my number 1, I did not see this coming, but it is also Kudos Bars.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck?
Wow.
I'll be honest. I made my list and I needed a 5th. And I was looking stuff up and I saw Kudos Bar and immediately that became my number 1 immediately. Yeah. And I did not expect it on another list, but they were so fucking good. And I guarantee if I had them now, I would not be able to eat 5 in a sitting. Like that would be not enough. It'd be like the whole box that I assume was like 30. But they were just so fucking good.
Yeah, it makes sense that we have such a similar list. Like for better or for worse, we did spend a lot of time together as children when these foods existed.
I would have thought your taste buds would have diverged a little bit though. Like if, let's say hypothetically, Matt Tarantino was on this episode with us, he would definitely have had different answers because his palate is confusing.
Yeah, but they haven't discontinued like Welch's fruit snacks and chicken nuggets. So like,
yeah.
Andrew and I are clearly traumatized from my mom throwing Kudos Bars at us down the stairs.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of makes me glad I didn't grow up in Flower Hill. Although it's still a great list. I'm not going to hate on the list.
Yeah, because mine's a first place list.
I wouldn't have thought of Kudos Bars for both of you. That's crazy to me that it was the top
really
of your list.
Really good.
I tried really hard to make sure that like I didn't have exclusively fast food on my list, and I thought that was going to be probably the same case with you guys, but you got snacks on there too. So
I thought Snack Wraps and Volt would be on. I mean, and Snack Wraps was, but Kudos I did not see coming. I did
think about Volt, like I said, because I do remember that soda machine where it was, we always had it there, but
had something else too.
Yeah, wait, which Kudos bar was your favorite? Was it M&M like me?
Oh, M&M. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
M&M.
100%.
M&M.
I'm really glad you guys aren't in the same geographical area right now because I feel like you'd be meeting up to do something.
Who makes
I
Kudos
mean,
Bar or who made Kudos Bars?
Mars.
Mars, I
Fucking
think,
Mars.
Yeah.
2017.
Oh, of
couldn't
course,
have them.
A recent wound.
Of course, it's Mars. I was just talking about M&Ms. Like that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
No, Andrew, we should find the recipe.
We can't
And not make it. You're
not gonna make it.
Someone else.
Yeah.
Someone else make
Yeah.
it.
Like
Someone
Cindy
like
Queen,
good.
maybe.
Oh, Cindy Queen.
She does make granola.
We have
She
a business.
she'd probably
proposal.
do it. If you found a homemade Kudos bar, send it her way and be like, yo, Cindy,
let me get
got a birthday coming up.
I knew something good would come from last night.
Okay. It's hurtful and offensive.
Kudos Bar
Okay.
Myself.
So, did you give your recap? I don't know.
He
No,
has
I
not
didn't.
yet.
I'm looking at
I didn't think
now.
so.
Real quick, number 5 snack wraps. Number 1 is the honey mustard. Obviously, no one has said that yet tonight. Number 4 is Volt. It's the soda energy drink that nobody needed, but everyone loved. Number 3 is
That was
Taco
their
Bell's.
tagline.
Taco Bell's, I don't know, premier menu breakfast item that doesn't make any sense. They got rid of because taco is in the name. It's the Waffle Taco. Bring it
Is
back.
that how they advertise it? Because it's so many words.
Bring it back. The Waffle Taco Bell.
Thomas's marketing is so good.
Thomas's marketing is like the longest commercials. Him doing a disclaimer is like, yeah, not legal in 49 of 50 states. And he's gonna
Number
name
2 was Frog Slurpee. So good. Number 1 is Kudos Bars. I mean, I can't say enough.
You almost couldn't get through that sentence.
I
You almost couldn't say anything.
I thought you were gonna be the first to cry, but
I said before we got going on this one that this is the rare time where I don't think I'm going to be the first to cry. As long as we don't count cry laughing, because then it's always me. But when it's talking about food, like I know you guys get more emotional than me. I know that. I get that. It's okay. It's your passion.
it means a lot to us.
It is my passion.
Yeah, my passion's listening. So
I'm pretty sure it's Andrew's job, but that's because I don't understand what he does. So
no one does. I don't think Andrew knows. Like, he got a new job at some point in the past 6 years.
Know.
I don't know what he does.
You'll never.
All I know, it has spreadsheets, and that's his thing.
And I remember the period of time that he was furloughed because for like 3 months, I was like, I'm better than you because I have a job and I provide for my family and you don't.
While he was furloughed, I'd send him spreadsheets from my job just to make him jealous.
Yeah. While he was furloughed, I got him to start a podcast with me.
I had a pretty good furlough. I had a pretty good furlough life. Both me and my avatar in Animal Crossing both had great lives during that time.
Maybe the saddest sentence anyone's ever said. Let's wrap it up after that. If you're listening on any of the audio platforms,
wrap it up.
I hate you. And your avatar. And I wish you were furloughed again, but paid this time. If you're listening on any of the audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, anything like that, make sure you click the follow button. If you have the option to rate and review, we'd love to get 5 stars. If you have the option to review, we'd love you to say something positive about us. Or even better, you can give us 5 stars and say some absolute shithead stuff about us. I don't care. It would just be cool if you rated and reviewed us. And if you're watching on YouTube, and Thomas, I'm going to get to your question in 1 second. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you click the like button. If you have not subscribed already, please do so. That way you're in the loop whenever we drop a new episode. And if you have your own list of discontinued foods, or if you want to vote on your preferred discontinued food list, make sure you comment below. And this is also going to be up on Twitter and Instagram for you to vote on. Thomas, what's up?
Yeah, guys, just do me a favor, vault on over to the review section, and in a crypt snack wrap, just give us some kudos for how good of a job we're doing.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything even a little bit like that, but thanks for joining us for another episode, and go eat some very, very, very unhealthy fast food.
And go write letters to these companies. Bring back these
specifically to Redbox. Tell Redbox.
Redbox
that they need to sponsor us.
We're coming for you.